Because how big is your account?
300K.
300K.
Yes.
What is your plan to do with your next payout?
So I want to focus on myself, keep developing myself, saving more so I can diversify.
Like, when did it hit you that you made that money? When it hit your bank account or when you were up that money?
Correct. When it, to be honest, when it hit the bank account, because there is uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a guy that has to see things that I actually believe in.
Of course.
By experience. So when it actually hit, and I was like, okay, all right.
It's time. It's ready.
Yeah. This is it.
All right, so what's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast, and this one is very, very special because we have the boy Eric here that he came all the way from Puerto Rico because we did an online interview where he was gonna get an $8,000 payout, but he decided to scale it and get a $15,000 payout? So now we're here in Miami, and we flew him out to Miami because he was in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, bro, I told you if you get over a $10,000 payout, you're coming to Miami, mandatory to do the podcast in person. And here we are, bro. So I appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate this opportunity. It really means a lot for me, and you and your team have been exceptionally great. Since I got here, I just received anything but good things. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, we so our goal was for you to come here and we're gonna kind of give you like the Miami experience. Is this your first time in Miami?
First time in Miami. Yes.
Is Miami different from Puerto Rico or no?
I think it's kind of similar, but an upgrade version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bro, Puerto Rico is one of my favorite places to travel. I've probably been there like 10 times in the past 6 to 8 months. I feel like Puerto Rico is Miami and Puerto Rico, they both have like the Latin culture, obviously, right? But then when it comes to Miami, it just looks more like modern, more flashy. It just has like buildings and all like that other stuff. So it's good. So yeah, so this is a new strategy that we're doing for the podcast, because usually what I would do before is I would get to know the person before we would do the podcast, and then we would hop on the podcast. But then I realized, like, you know what? I already know them, so when we get on the podcast, we're like repeating everything like again. So this is the first time that I'm actually meeting Eric live. Like, we just met probably like 5 minutes ago. So first of all, I wanted to ask you, bro, right? Because the last time we were on the podcast, you were up 8K on your account, right? Or was it like 8,300?
Yeah, correct, 83.
So why didn't you withdraw there and you decided to keep scaling it? Because that's where a lot of traders make a big mistake, right? Traders, they decide to, I want to keep getting more money so I get more of a payout. But you were telling me, because we were chatting like pretty often back and forth. You were telling me that you wanted to, that you were seeing more opportunities and you wanted to scale it. So what's the story behind that?
Okay, yep. So as I said, I was gonna stay there, and then I took a couple days off, and that helped my psychology. And then I was like, okay, this is not a lucky shot. This is not a home run. This is something I'm actually doing because I'm putting the work. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna keep showing up every day in the graphics. I'm gonna keep my habits, and if the opportunity arises, I'm gonna take it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I scaled to 15K. No pressure. It wasn't like a competition. It was like I'm confident in myself, and that's what happened there.
So how long did it take you to get to the 8K originally?
I'll say around 2 weeks.
And then because you had to wait another 2 weeks to get your first payout.
Correct.
So then in those 2 other weeks, you scaled it up to 15.
Correct, yes.
That's fire.
Yes.
So what do you mainly trade again? So like the new guys that are watching.
So I mainly trade GBP USD.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes US 30 and not very often gold, but my main focus is GBP USD. And
then you did the same approach to your funded account that you did with your stage 1, stage 2, or you just changed it up? Like you stuck to the same process you did?
So the same process, however, different risk. So
why?
Because of the challenge, then we have the 10%, right? So I had to adapt and realized that I needed to risk more in order to achieve that objective.
What were you risking?
I was risking around 1 to 2%, depending on the setup, and compounding it. So let's say I want to go from 1% to 5%. Now I'm managing my risk. Once I have that cushion, then I'm able to scale my risk 2%. In order to complete the objective.
Okay.
So yes.
So you did that for stage 1 and stage 2?
Correct, yes.
And then so what risk did you take on your funded account?
I'm currently taking 0.25%.
Nice.
Wait,
hold on. So you made 15K with 0.25 risk?
So I did 15K and I risked 0.25. So I risked 0.25 once I reached 5K. Then I scaled up a little bit more. And I didn't pass 1%. But yes, that's where my left and my right limit is. My left limit is 0.25 and my right limit is 1%.
Okay, so then you scaled up with small percentage,
Correct.
and then so you were taking the same type of trades. Like your strategy didn't change. Like you were still trading GBP, USD, like scalping or day trading, and then
Correct.
the only thing that changed was your risk.
Yes.
Okay, pretty interesting. What would you say would be like one of the barriers that held you back from, obviously other than psychology, but like risking more on your funded account? Because obviously if you would have risked more on your funded, you would have probably been up like what, like 30K, 40K?
Yes. Yeah, 30, 45K.
Because how big is your account?
300K.
300K.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so you made what if 10% is 30K? So you made like around like 5-6%.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so your risk management's definitely on point. Did you withdraw all of the money?
So yes, so I withdrew the 15K completely because it was like a wake up call for myself, and I was like, okay, this is real, this is happening. Let's take it serious, and now let's start from the beginning again, and that's gonna help me with my track records because I definitely this is something I want to keep as a career, and I'm seeing it really professional. So in order for me to be a professional, I need numbers and statistics so I can have a track record. So that's what I'm doing. I want to see the difference of my emotions in the past, and now with all this process, how I'm going to manage my emotion with all the experience, see the difference.
So you made the money. Did you think it was real up to the point before you withdraw or no? Or did it, like, when did it hit you that you made that money? When it hit your bank account or when you were up that money?
Correct. When it, to be honest, when it hit the bank account, because there is uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And, I'm a guy that has to see things to actually believe them.
Of course.
By experience. So when it actually hit, and I was like, okay, all right.
It's time. It's ready.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? Because a lot of people usually they get the money, they blow it, they go crazy. And this is something that I was actually, because I talk a lot with the traders through the DMs, and I realized that a lot of traders, when they get their first payout, they just feel like they have to spend it all because they feel like, oh, I've been putting 2 years into my journey. Like, I'm going to spend it all. So when they spend it all, they go back to their funded account to chase those profits again, to keep living, the lifestyle they just lived for the past month. And that's where they end up blowing the account because now they're chasing the money versus just trading the market. So what did you do with the profits you made? Did you spend it? Did you save it? What did you do?
Okay, so first thing I did was give some money to my loved ones.
Okay.
I took, sent to my dad, sent to my mom, my partner. And second thing, I cleared some credit card debt.
Nice.
And then I saved the rest for, keep investing in myself and my body, spirit, and brain so I can keep achieving these results. So that was the first thing I did, receive the money and send it away. Not all of it,
Yeah, of course.
It's like a token of appreciation for you guys that always been there.
Okay. So you gave some to your parents, to your girlfriend. You have a girlfriend?
Correct, yes.
And then you saved some, you paid off some credit card and then okay. So then what's your plan to do with the next payout? Because if you keep going at this rate number, you're going to easily keep making 15, 20K a month, like no issue from your account. So like, what is your plan to do with your next payout?
So I want to focus on myself, keep developing myself, saving more so I can diversify. Because I understood that if I diversify, my psychology is going to be better in order to me, to be a better trader.
So you don't just depend from trading alone. Like you use trading to like create the fountain of whatever it is that you want to invest in.
Correct. Yes.
So you were in the military.
Yeah.
Are you still in the military?
I'm still, yes.
Nice. How long have you been in the military?
Around 8 years.
So how do you trade and are in the military at the same time? Like,
so
how does
I'm
that
in the
happen?
military, but I'm a reservist. So I drill. I go once a month.
Okay.
And I've been deployed because reservists we get deployed and we do training and all that good stuff. But once I'm back home, then I see them once a month, and I keep my civilian life.
So how long were you actually deployed for? Like, did you ever go out?
So it's around 11 months.
How long ago was that?
That's like 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Oh wow!
I just came back.
Oh wow! And then when did you start trading? Did you start trading while you were out there, or while you were
within the account or the process,
or just trading in general?
It was like 4 or 5 years ago. So I started trading because once I finished my bachelor's degree and I was finishing my officer course, I was like, okay, what next? I know I'm gonna be a reservist, and I know I want to reach new levels. How can I manage to invest little energy and gain more money so I can get more freedom and diversify? And that's where all the markets and all this information start coming in.
Of course.
Yeah.
When you went into the military, your plan wasn't to start trading. You just first started the military, and then you came across trading as you were in the process.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason I started the military, first one in my family, because I want to add value as a man in the culture and society.
Well, so you have Latin parents, obviously, right?
Yes.
Son de Puerto Rico. So how do they see you doing this whole online stuff? Because I have Cuban parents, right? So obviously, you know how Latin parents are towards like technology and all this stuff. Like they don't understand it, so they're almost in a way like scared of it. Like, was your family supportive, and how were like, what was your partner and your friends about it?
So my family has always been supported. You know, I want to add there. I depended myself from like 17 years old. So I started living by myself, and you know, so we're close, not that close, but they were always real supported. But the same like I said, once they saw the actual results, now they believe you know, it's like it's actually doable.
Of course. And then your friends, because obviously you have, you know, military friends. Like, did any of them do it along with you, or you were the only kind of person that shifted to the side to do it?
Oh no, absolutely. I have a lot of military folks, friends, brothers and sisters that are pursuing the same career.
Really?
Yes, really interesting. And yeah, they see me and they ask questions, and we have good conversations. But yes, there's a
I bet that's probably crazy to them, because like you were probably with them, you know, deployed like 11 months ago, or what, like 4 or 5 months ago, and now you're here. They're probably like tripping out, like, bro, like what happened? Because it can happen so fast, bro. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, if you just stay consistent to your trading plan, you stay consistent to your rules, you stay consistent to everything that you have to follow, everything can shift pretty quick, because obviously there's no cap to what you can make or what you can do. So reaching back to the other point, right? You said you want to reach new levels. So you told me that you wanted to get the rocket tattoo. I'm here telling you, and you don't have to do it, bro.
Yeah.
So, but you were mentioning to me that you want to do it. Like, what's the reason behind that? Because you have a bunch of tattoos, right?
Yeah.
You say they all have a reasoning behind them. So what's the reasoning behind the rocket tattoo?
So as you can see, you know, I'm not gonna go in detail, but all my full sleeves are, you know, have a meaning and stages in my life, and I'm a guy that likes art, and so this is one of the best experience I've had so far, because I've been pursuing this for 4 or 5 years now. Hard work, you know, late nights, all the struggles we all traders go through, and having this opportunity, it's like it's worth for me having, you know, a tattooed as an art in my body.
Okay.
And just looking at it and just as a motivation for myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty big, because you're kind of like forcing yourself to like stay consistent with what you're doing now. Because, bro, like I told you, if you keep going at what you're going, man, like this can be the change forever, bro, you know, for the rest of your family to come. So when it comes to the military, do you plan to keep on going with that? Or is there like a certain time where you stop, or you want to keep doing trading military? Because you did your bachelor's, do you plan to going back to school, or you're done there?
So I'm currently enrolled in a master's degree.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, 2 A's. So
that's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
I'm managing in there. So I'm doing my master's degree in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Focus on small business. In the military, I got a couple of years left, and now it's a great opportunity for me too, because I'm gonna assume command. I'm gonna be a company commander. So I'm an officer, and I'm in a great position, because I have so many young soldiers that, you know, they need, we need guidance and proper leadership. And I firmly believe that if a good leader forms itself, so people can follow it. So answering your question, I have a couple of years. I'm gonna do my best, like I do in everything. Make sure that my company command time, I do it properly and effectively, and lead those young soldiers, and introduce them to different type of styles or information we all have, and then go from there. But I really want to focus on, once my military career is done and I do my commitment, continue being an entrepreneur and keep growing in business. So you're doing, do you work a job right now or no? No, currently not. So your only income is trading and then part of it from the military? Correct. And on top of that, you're getting your master's. Correct. And you have A's while you're doing master's. Look, if you guys are debating where there's no excuses. Like, this man right here is like not capping. Obviously, we just met and this is real. I saw your Instagram, bro. I went through all your stuff. Like, everything is legit, So I think that's very motivational, because a lot of people out there, they use some type of excuse. I work a 9 to 5. I don't have money, or I don't know where to start. And dude, you're doing pretty much all of it together. Yes. And you're succeeding at all of them together, bro. I think that's a really big deal. How old are you? 27. Wow. Yeah. I'm obviously a lot younger, I'm not saying you're old or anything, but I think like that's motivational to me, because as of right now, the only thing I'm working on is just trading and rocket, right? And obviously, just teaching people to do it, but it all kind of falls within the same niche.
you're working on 3 completely different things. You're working on the military, which just has to do with the service. You're then working on trading, and you're working on yourself, which is very important because that helps with the military and trading. And then you're going to school, which is insane to me, bro. So I applaud you, bro, and you have big respect for me for that.
Thank you very much, bro.
So what would you say because obviously you seem like a very calm guy. Like, you're very chill. Have you always been like this, or no?
No.
Because Puerto Ricans are crazy, bro.
Yeah. We're full of energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Puerto Ricans are like Cubans. They have a lot of energy. So you've never been like, you've always been calm, or you were hyper before?
So yeah, I've been hyper. I think and I got to know myself each year. You know, you get to know yourself better, and I know that if more engaged I'm in with different things, then I don't procrastinate. I'm just hyper focused, and I do my time management accordingly. So I figured that I need to be in different things in order. It sounds weird, but that's how I work, you know. Because then I diversify my weeks, my days, and I'm just, you know, hyper focused, crushing my goals, my habits, and then I'll go back to bed. I put myself in a position where I don't lose time, and you know, it's been working.
Yeah, for sure. Like, this is something that I was actually talking with the guys earlier. I have a calendar where I have time blocks for literally everything. Like, I have a time block for when I wake up and trade. I have 30 minutes for where then I'll just literally walk around the house, reply to some DMs. Then I have an hour for where I eat. I have an hour where I then have just time to go to the gym and come back. Like, I have my whole entire day blocked off in time blocks. Even time to do nothing, I have that in a time block. Like, I don't waste any time. Every hour of my day is extremely productive. That's why I get so much done. You use a calendar, or how do you do it?
So it's interesting. Yes, I use a calendar, and I manage and I plan my life like 1 to 5 years ahead.
Okay.
And you know, you go and then you adjust, you refine, like we say. You plan and then you refine. But yes, my life already, I know what I'm gonna do 5 years from now, and then I go into micro, and then I'm planned all the way until December, which I know what I'm gonna do each week until December.
Wow.
That's how I manage myself. It's kind of the same. So, and within the calendar, then every day in the morning, I bring up my journal, I put my to-do list, and then I also in the journal put how am I feeling. And what do I do to, you know, mitigate this? And how can I go around my emotions and attack them in a positive way?
So you said you have your next 5 years planned.
Correct.
When did you start that plan?
So it every year changes because, you know, it scales.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing it unconsciously since I started college. I think it's something So I thought it was I thought it was anxiety. Well, a lot of people could say it's anxiety. But then I figured that's how I am. I just need to know where I'm focused, where I'm going, because if I feel I'm wasting my time, then other things appear. You know, I'm not this calm. I can't sleep and all that stuff. So I got to know myself and plan myself.
So these results that you're having now, was that part of your plan at this speed, or did you have it later down in the road, or did it come late according to your plan?
So, like I said, I'm flexible with it, and I adjust. I never put myself on like I'm gonna achieve this by this date, because then disappointment comes.
Of course.
But I did get myself into limits. So these results are, you know, a byproduct of all the little things I've done for the past 4.5 years.
Okay. So did it come later? Did it come on time?
No, definitely come later.
Okay. Because I mean, obviously, like, if you got started 4 years ago, my shit was super late too, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So taking it back a little bit. So you said you haven't always been this calm. Like I'm saying, you look like a very centered person, like a very calm. How did you achieve that? Because there's a lot, like if you're saying you had anxiety or you're just always anxious, that's something very hard to overcome for some people. How did you manage to change?
I'll say life experience, getting to know myself. And I actually hit the gym this morning.
Okay.
It's something in me. I have to go work out, put the energy out, physical energy out, and then be centered in the moment. But I'll say more life experience, you know, being through pressure, being through hard times. And that helps you a lot. The military, my life, you know, different scenarios where you learn that you need to be calm so you can take, you know, the better decisions, you know, and the proper decisions. Because an anxious mind or a mind that reacts quickly, then you can regret something. Instead, you just, focus yourself, maybe breathing techniques and posture, a lot of other things, and it'll help you out. But I'll say life experience.
Okay. And then, so you hit the gym, like your like regular daily routine is you hit the gym every morning.
Yes, I work out every day.
Okay. And then how does that go in with trading, right? So let's talk a little bit about the trading. Do you trade in the morning or during night?
So I trade during pre-New York and New York section.
Okay.
So
we have the same time, right? We're both
yes.
EST. So that would be around, you'd wake up like 7, 8 o'clock.
So I wake up around 4.
You're waking up early.
Yeah, I will go to the gym from 6:30.
Okay.
And then I have 1 hour, my protein shake. Maybe I'll do breakfast. And then I'll go to the graphics like 7:30 all the way to 9, 10.
And then you have to be falling asleep early, bro. Like you gotta be falling asleep like 9 o'clock. You're waking up at 4.
Sometimes, but most of the times
No.
No, it's just the energy. I'm always like on, Like I said, I do a lot of things. So and for now it's been working. But sometimes I take the weekends to rest, and then I can oversleep, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. But during the week, I kind of don't sleep a lot, but it's on purpose.
Okay. And then would you say that back testing helped you get to the point where you are now, or is it live trading the market forward?
Oh, I'll say both. You need chart experience. You need hours. You need like every certification, like every profession. Once you get, you educate yourself, then the university or wherever you go, they're gonna be like, okay, now it's time to get some hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say back testing, because it'll give you the confidence once you're in the live charts. Back testing gives you the confidence of, I've seen this, I've done this before, I know what to do, now it's showtime. So I'll go with both. You need to back test.
Yeah, definitely. What I figured out with back testing was that you would go through so much of the market data so fast. You could go through 2 months of price in 5 seconds. So I feel like back testing would mess up the psychology when I was initially starting, because then when you go take that same energy to live trade, like, damn, this is taking forever. Even if the strategy is going to obviously play out, but there's nothing like the waiting game, just letting the market play out. There's no price to just having to sit there, like you're saying, chart time, waiting for the candlesticks to form, waiting for the price to consolidate and then break out. I feel like that right there is what is killer to 99% of the traders. They just don't have the patience. Like you said, the anxiety gets to them and it just makes them click the sell button or just close out on the trade because they don't want to hold. Right. Like, what would you say to somebody that has gone through something like that? Because obviously, bro, I'm telling you, you're a very chill guy. Like, you've made me chill. Like, you've made me calm. Like, what would you say with that? Because I have the slogan, set and forget. So set and forget was initially for that same reason, because when you enter a trade, you're supposed to just set and forget. Let it ride to your stop loss or let it ride to your take profit. What would you say was something that helped you initially enter that kind of like space where you understood that?
So I definitely agree with you with the psychology of back testing. And then once you go to the real charts, you're like, oh, I could take 4 hours, 5 hours. And then you're like, because back testing, you just click the button, the candles form, and then, oh, I won. So I'll say that you need chart time. You need to, go through this experience, because I used to deal with that anxiety of, I did back testing. Once I went to the real charts, I was like, man, this is taking forever. I'm going to close. And then operations went good. And I was like, oh my God. So, and that goes along with your trading plan, because once you realize your trading plan and once you realize that in the real charts, you need to go through that phase, where those emotions are coming from. For instance, you start feeling, getting anxiety. And why am I getting anxiety? On this particular reason. Well, I'm getting anxiety because I'm used to back testing and it doesn't take forever. Okay, so what can I do now? So I know that if I want to make this a profession and I want to keep going through it, then I have to deal with this anxiety. So find things like set and forget strategy or mindset that will enable you and help you block those emotions and those thoughts. But I think every trader has to go through this process. And
it's inevitable. There's no way you can't escape. You can't fast track experience. Unless you're sitting in front of the charts 24 hours around the day, just so you realize you got to do nothing all day.
And yet, I think you're gonna get burned out if you do that. 24 hours.
It's obviously impossible. I remember when I was starting, bro. I would watch every single tick of every hour candlestick that I was awake. I would have an alarm on my phone for every single hour. And I just wanted to see the closure of the candlestick. I just wanted to see what it closed like. And then that's where I really started understanding the power of this trading sessions, because I'm like, bro, I just looked at the candlesticks from 5 p.m. EST all the way to 9, and it did nothing. Why? Because you're obviously in the sessions that's not New York or London where there's no volume. So that takes experience to see this type of things, and like you're saying, chart time. But there's no price tag to the time and experience that you put into something. So what would you say would be one of your top 3 essential things when it comes to your trading plan that's gotten you to the results that you've gotten today?
Proper mindset. That's the first thing. Just entering the charts, with a clear mind. Second thing will be your section. Understanding your section, understanding how the market moves, even the days also, and price action. Just take your time. I take my time. I go to the market and see what's actually going on. And why did this movement start? Where did it come from? If there's some news. It's all that, just like a intro analysis of before you go in and, attack the markets.
So you first have to have clarity in your mind to enter the market.
Of course, yeah. If you have, personal issues or something happening in your life and you go to the charts, you're going to reflect that,
So you wouldn't trade the markets if your mind has no clarity?
Definitely, no. This is a profession. This is a profession. I treat it like such. And then if I feel like myself, I'm not in the proper conditions to make a decision, take the trade, then I'll don't do it. There's no pressure, tomorrow's another day.
That's big, bro. Because a lot of traders, they get FOMO. They feel like, oh, if I'm not there, I don't make the money. So how would you feel that, let's say you had a bad night or morning or whatever, and when you get to the market, you decide to not trade because you don't have the right mindset, but when you come to the market, let's say the next morning when you have a fresh mindset and you see the trade that you could have taken yesterday play out, how would that make you feel?
I'll do back steps. I'll retrace my steps during the day, and I'll say like, okay, why did I feel this way? All right, so how can I avoid this in the future? I missed this move. All right, it's okay. Tomorrow's another day. But what can I do better in order for me to be in a better status and not miss future moves? Because like I say, I see this as a marathon and not a sprint. So every day, every learning experience, I just use it, and don't be so harsh on myself, because I understand that I really want to be, make a good living out of this and a long-term living. And I understand that it's just those things that helps me in the psychology when I see a move that I could have took, but I didn't because of something,
So your first one would be your mindset. What was your second one again?
It was mindset, your sections.
So what do you mean by like which sections?
So if you're doing London, if you're doing New York or Tokyo, like you mentioned, from 5 to 9, there's no volume. Maybe you have a great strategy, but you're not focused on what's actually going on, because we're doing forex, we're doing market exchange. So we have to understand that these, London opens at this time. That's why there's the volume, the logic, the logic behind the market. So understanding that affects a lot your trading plan. Like I was gonna mention, if you have a solid trading plan, but you're doing it in Tokyo, which we know it's low in volume.
Yeah, there's no volume.
You're gonna think your trading plan's like it's bad, it's off. But it's not a trading plan. It's where are you executing the trading plan? So that's why I'm really, truly believer that your section is important with the type of pair you're using and the type of movement you're looking for.
So definitely mindset, and then the time that you're going to take. I think that's a very key. I think that's a very key point that you made, because it's almost like second nature to me now, right? I'm sure it is to you as well, when you take a trade to just have it in your session. Right? Like you just know you only trade during New York or London because it's the only times that make sense. But thinking back to the trader that has no idea the right from wrong when it comes to trading sessions, they can just trade when they have free time. For example, right now, you and I have free time out. Let me just hop into the market and take a trade. Like that's not how this works. It's not a casino. Like it's not just there. You could just click buy whenever you want and expect a quick result. So I think that's a very key point to a very beginner person, that as soon as they start trading, to just focus on the session, because if they don't, then they can just completely trade on the wrong sessions, and like you said, they're not following their plan. I mean, they could be following their plan, but just because they're not in the right session, they're not having results because there's no movement. Right. Okay, so that's a very valid point. And then your third one, what was it?
The price action, which will could leap in your trading strategy.
So do you use Bollinger Bands?
No.
Do you use Fibonacci?
No.
Do you use EMA?
Yes.
Do you use the RSI?
No, something similar, but it's not.
What do you use? You gotta tell us the secrets.
So I type up, there's some Elliott waves, and then some EMAs in between. And like I mentioned, I have like 3 different setups. So it could be A, B, and C, which retracements, breaks of EMAs in certain places, and then
A, B, and C being A, the start point, B, the high, and then C, the...
Oh, sorry. So when I mention A, B, and C, is some type of setup for me. Like, for example, an A setup is when I get like a solid break of EMAs.
The EMAs?
Yeah, EMAs, sorry. And that's like in the section I'm trading, that's like my A setup. A B setup will be a retracement.
Oh, okay. So you're grading your trades.
Yes.
I do the exact same thing.
And
okay.
based on that, then switch my risk.
Okay. So let's take it back. Okay. So you have 3 different grades that you give your trades.
Correct.
So you have an A setup, a B setup, and a C setup.
Correct.
Okay. So then your A setup is when it breaks the EMA.
Correct.
What's your B setup?
Retracements.
So you're buying at a higher low or selling at a lower high?
If I see, for instance, we're in London section and I see a great impulse, and there's another parameter I'm looking at, and I understand now that the market is trying to offer some orders or do some different stuff, then that's a retracement for me.
Okay. And then what would be your C setup?
It's another type of retracement, but it's more like, it's hard to explain with not the graphics. But
what time frames are you on?
I'm on 15 minutes and 5 minutes.
Okay, so you're like scalping more.
Yes, I'm scalping.
Okay.
I'm looking 15, 20 pips, and that's good.
Okay.
Consistency.
So then, do you see yourself taking the majority of A, B, or C setups? What's the majority of the trades that you're taking?
A and B.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to ignore C.
What trades do you lose the most? The A, B, or C setups?
It's interesting, the A.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
It's very interesting. I'm glad you said that.
Yes, it's interesting. Like, B setups has been kind of the most profitable, so the most,
So why don't you change your B
reward.
setup to be your A setup?
Because of price action. Because A setup for me is going with the trend.
Okay.
And
bro, that's what I preach, bro. Yeah.
yeah. So
that's a secret, bro. Nobody gets it.
Yep. Just, we're in a big market where we're trying to get some chunks out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why force it? So
Exactly.
that's why I keep with the A setup, because although I might lose a little bit more, but doing the risk reward, it covers that section. So I'll keep it as A, just because going with the trend is, your friend.
Yeah. I mean, because if you're going against the majority of the waves, you're just setting yourself up for failure, bro. You know. So your A setup is you're going with the trend.
Yes.
The B setup you're going against the trend, or is it just on a certain time frame you're going against it?
A certain time frame, yes.
Okay.
Understand, yes.
And then the C setup is what's
it's another type of it's the retracement going against the trend like fully.
Oh, so that's just
So that's why I just kind of don't look at it.
okay. Fair
I know
enough.
it's there, but I just like, no, not today.
So the trades that got you your payout as of right now, what did the majority of them consist of? A or B setups?
Both, I'll say both.
Both setups?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Because
That's-
not every day is the same movement.
Exactly. So what would be the longest time that you were without taking a trade?
I'll say a week or two.
And how did you feel during that?
Oh, it's okay. I respect my process. I understood. I wasn't quitting. It was just a rest, mental rest, and focusing on other things, and then came back.
Was there any point in that time where you just wanted to take a trade, or?
Oh, definitely. Yes. You get that FOMO. You get all that. Like I want to see numbers in the MetaTrader, but just part of the process in so many years of struggles or learning process, learning curves that you just know that don't do it. It's your trading plan. So, but definitely.
And then was that week or two that you took off, or that you didn't take any trades because you saw no opportunity? Was there any moves that left your way that you were looking for, or no? Or did none of the trades align how you wanted to?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had a lot of trades aligned, but I just respect the process. And I was like, I'm not trading, and I'm not trading,
And you didn't take them because they weren't an A, B, or C setup?
No, I didn't take them because I was giving myself time.
Okay.
Like in the, go again in the market. So there was like no pressure.
Yeah, bro, you definitely have a big discipline. What would you say was like one of the biggest factors to get you to that right there? Because
folding so many times. All the losses, all the late nights, because when you're on the losing streak, or you open a trade in Tokyo, let's say I can't sleep, so I'm awake all Tokyo section, London and New York, and then you end up losing. So all those late nights and all those mistakes and bad decisions, that was definitely what made me being disciplined thinking of like, I don't want to go through this again. You know, or you know what's gonna happen if you do this. So I think that's the main focus of the discipline.
Because was there any point in time where you didn't blame anybody other than yourself?
Yes.
What was it?
Like outsiders, you say?
Like, what did you blame?
I mean, well, everything. It could be circle. It could be, environment. Even though something I ate, a lot of things, and I didn't blame. I hold them accountable.
When you were, let's say, in those like struggling points, like, what was the point that you realized that you were the one that was the mistake? Because obviously, when it comes to the markets, when you're losing, you're the mistake.
Yes.
It's not the market. It's not your trading plan. It's not anything but you, because you're the one that clicked the button. Yeah. What got you to realize that?
The deployment. I spent so much time with myself in the deployment and away, from family and all that. So many hours, just me and my mind, and I hold myself accountable. And I'll say that's definitely the deployment.
So the military plays a big factor.
Definitely, it really adds some value in my mind, spirit, and organization, and everything. Really grateful for it.
That's big, bro. That's big. Is there something you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'll say one of the important things in this profession is looking at yourself out of the profession. What are your habits? What do you preach? What are you after? Is it flashy things? Is it lifestyle? Is it a purpose? Is it a legacy? What is really your motivation factor that makes you want to do this, right? Are you just want to follow in a trend? Like, just know who you are and accept like if this is for you or not. And if it is, then take your life serious, take your habits serious. Even if you need to get closer to God, whichever God you believe, because as I see trading is it's not just sitting down and market execution. Trading is a lifestyle. And if you want to be successful, you need to have every block in your life, balanced and well-driven. So that's kind of one of my biggest recommendations for people that are trying to, or are starting, or has been in this trading career for a long time. Just if you see yourself in a losing streak, if you see yourself blaming others, if you see yourself in that dark spot where most of us have been, give you a timeout, take a journal, write things down, ask people questions. Because when you ask for feedback, people will tell you things maybe you don't realize, Hey, how I'm doing? How do you look myself? Or just find mentors that really preach what they're doing, that really represent that they're actually putting in the work, And one of the things that has helped me be successful in everything I do is I find a mentor in every aspect of everything I want to do. So I have a spiritual mentor. I have mentors in the military. I have mentors in trading. And everything I decide to put my focus on, I find a mentor. One, the energy, the knowledge, the wisdom, and somebody to hold you accountable. If they really truly believe in you and their desire is good for yourself, then they're gonna hold you accountable and they're gonna be like, yeah, you're sucking, but you have to fix it. And that's one of my main recommendation is to just focus on yourself and find you a good circle and people that were gonna support you and actually did or are doing what you want to realize, what you want to achieve.
I think you said something very interesting when you first started that sentence, was that realize what you want. Like, what are you chasing? So, for example, a lot of people would follow what you want to be. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, what they follow on Instagram is lifestyle, cars, just all this flashy stuff. So something that you mentioned is that you got to aspire to follow the people, or basically follow what you want to be. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people, what they follow is the flashy cars, the girls, the houses, but just, maybe not a lot of people, they don't want that stuff. Mm-hmm. They just use it as motivation, aspiration to get to what they want. Yes. What do you want?
So, and going on to that, there's nothing wrong. I see those things as maybe achievement or tokens or something, you work through, because I like things as well. But my main focus is creating a legacy, that my family, my friends, and people around me will benefit out of it. Mm. And because we're going to be here for, some years, right? and then we're gonna die. It's nature. So why not make the best out of it? Why not bring the best version of the people around you, and just have your circle and live well? So that's my main focus. That's my drive, and that's why I wake up and I do everything that I do. I just want my kids and my brother. I don't have kids, but whenever I have one, and my brothers to actually look up. If they have questions, have somebody to reach out. Then that's kind of my main focus, and everything else falls. If you want the cars, great. Girls, great. Watches, that's great. For me, that's a token because if I get to buy a watch I want, I'll look at it and I'll be like, I'm not bragging. This is something I earned. This is something I put my nights on. This is something I deserve, and it helped me to reach new levels. So yes, you can have all this, but what really is your fire? Because what I think, what happens is if you don't have that fire and you don't have something you're pursuing, like genuinamente, how do you say that word? Genuinely, then you're going to get to a level, then you achieve material success. But are you inside, like how are you inside? Are you broken? What's going to happen afterwards once you achieve, that top, and you're going to be like, okay, so now what? But creating a circle, like a great circle, like you had, like I mentioned, you have really great guys in your team, and I'm truly a believer that your success, it's part of the team you've chosen because you're creating something genuinamente. Generally, sorry. So yeah, I'll go from there.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I got some really solid guys, bro. That I hand selected them all. Like these guys, I can close my eyes and leave whatever on the table. I know it's not going anywhere. Most importantly, that they follow the vision. They understand the vision and where not only myself, but the brand and all of us as a whole want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. So I definitely do agree with your point that it's not all about the materialistic things. Like, what do you want to leave behind, or what is it that you're actually being passionate for? So you said you had brothers. You're the oldest in your family?
Yes, so I have 4 brothers. I'm the oldest. We're all males.
Big family.
Yeah, big family.
A lot of fights.
Between them, yes.
Yeah.
Because I have one, he's 21 years old. He's following my steps. He's enlisting in the Air Force, National Guard, so he can continue his bachelor's degree. And then I had twins. They're like 12 years, and then the other one is 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. So you're obviously the oldest.
Yes.
So you set an example for all of them.
Yes.
What is your plan for them? Because you're saying that, you're getting your master's to do a business. Are you making a business for them? Like, what is your plan?
So within the military and life experience, I learned that we learn by experience, right? And I'm going to create a business. I'm going to create an environment where I can bring my family. They can work. We can work together. And whenever things go offside, that's where it's my time to shine and teach them how to be resilient, how to be disciplined in real life scenarios. Because yes, you can have a habit and talk with your family every day, but I think that's the better way for me, teaching and passing all this information and wisdom, is just having them with me, and whenever things happen, they can look, and then like, okay, so what next? And I'll be their guide and mentor. That's all I want.
Wow, that's right.
Because I realize if you're working and then you're off, and then you have this life when you're apart from them, you can't really be there for them, and it's not your fault because you're working, you're complying with other things. So once I figured that a long time ago, then I was like, okay, what's the best way I can impact my family and the people around me? Yes, by example. Yes, that's a percentage, because by example, then my brothers follow me. I'm really grateful for that. But then, like I said, just being there and being able to help them building blocks along the way, that's I know that's going to happen, and I'm going to be there for them.
So what would you say would be your next financial goal and somewhere in your plan of the next 5 years? If you want to mention it, you don't have to, but.
So I'll go with.
You can mention from just Rocket, from trading, like, what do you want to get out from Rocket?
Okay, so right now, first thing.
Speak it into the future, bro.
So right now, speaking in the future with Rocket, stay consistent. Keep the same things that took me to this experience and took me to the payout. Do the same things over and over again. I wanna, I have a 300,000 account, so I want to buy another one, pass the challenge, and so I can merge it. Keep growing my capital and diversify, and keep going from there.
So it goes to scale. You want to get another bigger size.
Oh, definitely. I want to scale up. Keep reaching new levels.
Yeah.
And
Or you gotta get the tattoo, bro.
Yeah, I have to.
So you want to get it after here, the tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down.
We'll do it. We get him to come to my house. And
Yeah, but so yeah, like keep reaching, scaling up. I have a year to finish my master, so that's I'm doing command. So just do the command, finish my master, scale up the account, and all other things will fall in.
I think you dropped some big wisdom, bro. And I think what's kind of like crazy to me is I can see a shift in you. I can see how you turned into a completely different person, because trading really does put you through some stuff that there's just no explanation of it, man. Like you can literally tell people like, bro, I've changed, and nobody will understand how by you just sitting in front of the computer, you've changed. It's very difficult to explain it to somebody, but you know so much about yourself from just, like you said, being by yourself in a room, learning all the experiences. So I think you dropped some great stuff, and I think this is amazing. All right, so we're gonna end off with some rapid fire topics. So I'm just gonna tell you a topic, and then you just say a word of what you think. Fibonacci.
It's okay.
EMA.
Great.
Trend line.
Nah.
Risk management.
Definitely essential.
Psychology.
A must.
NFP, so like trading the news.
Dangerous.
FTMO.
Nah.
So supply and demand.
Great.
Rocket 21.
Reach new levels.
Fire. Yeah. Very good, bro. Yo, thank you, bro.
Muchas gracias, bro. Tremenda experiencia y vibra.